What is up, friends? It's me. Has live started? It has started. Sorry, no cool intro today. For some reason, it wasn't showing, so we'll just do it this way. No intro, no fancy production, just Stopher Cavins. Welcome to the Stopher Show. How's everyone doing? Where's everyone? Why is there only 6 viewers? Who knows? Hopefully, folks will show up. All right. How is everyone doing tonight? Tell me. Let me know. Let me know you hear me. All right. Welcome, Janie. Welcome, C. Ishika, Jen S. Thank you for being here. I'm sure more folks will come in. It looks like the number is rising. So whether they do or whether they don't, that's fine. We'll get on with the show. Of course, I am Stopher Cavins. I'm a psychic medium. And the sage is burning a little too hot. All right. Hi, Melinda Pie. So what I do here is I answer your questions. You have emailed me. I have read the emails. I have been in session with your questions, and I have notes. All right. There's probably about 8 on my list, 9 on my list tonight. If you let me put the I'll make all over the place. It's okay. We'll get through it. Nope, not that one. Where are you at? All right, here we go. Okay, so I know it's Tuesday. Full disclosure, my football team was playing last night on Monday Night Football. It is an important game, as every game is at this point in the season, and my team's actually doing well. So I wanted to take the night just to watch my team, and they won, so that was good. And so we're doing it tonight. Normally, this is done. The Stopher Show is on every Monday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And if you have questions that you would like me to answer, please email me. All right, the Stopher Show at stophercavins.com. All right, I love the set. My husband's here. His name's Christian Delgado. If you see him in the chat, say hi. Tell him how cute he is. All that good stuff. Nivra, welcome. Long time no see. Be free. Welcome. All right, we'll get into it. Of course, the normal disclosures. I am not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a licensed real estate agent anymore. Any of the licensed stuff, I am not that. If you need more than just my objective third-party opinion, please consult with the proper professionals in your area. All that good stuff. I do not claim to see the future, and I don't believe the future is written. I don't think we're in some kind of time loop, maybe, but I don't have any reason to believe that. So when I'm making predictions and projections, what I am doing is just connecting with all the energy around you and around your questions and all the things that are already activated, things that are already brewing. And I'm just telling you what freeway you're on and where it's headed, how much traffic's on that freeway, what the exits are, what the, all that stuff, if we're going with that analogy. And then you decide how it turns out. You actually decide how the prediction goes. Oh, Alexa is talking to me. Great. All right, Maria Morton, thank you for being here. Tony, thank you. Bernicia, thank you. All right, we're going to get into it. Let me pull up my email. Like I say, I already went into session with these questions. I have notes, so you'll see me probably looking down, reading my notes. If something comes to me in real time, you'll see that as well. Webmail, here we go. I don't love that view. I need a producer. Anybody want to produce my show? Anybody? It doesn't. It's not a paid position, but all right. Next. There we go. Okay, so Jillian, looks like you're here. Jillian writes in. My brother has been in a five. I don't know. I don't think I read this one last week. My brother has been in and out of jail since he was a teenager and on and off of drugs. Will he finally stay off drugs and stay out of jail once he's released? Thank you so much. He worries me. I can understand. I didn't read on this last week, right, Jillian? This is a new question. Looks like it came in on the 10th. The 10th. Yep. All right. So what I have with this is I feel like it's going to be fine for a while. But I feel like we're still in a cycle. I'm still getting like kind of cycling through here, Jillian. So it appears to me, just as I'm feeling this, is we still are in kind of a peak and valley kind of cycle with your brother is what I have. It's not, I think we've got a couple turns of the calendar. So I guess, as you may fear, it's like we get into, I'm projecting this out to about 2027, where there's some things that are probably going to happen, some kind of epiphanies, um, maybe hitting rock bottom again, unfortunately, where, and I almost feel like the legal thing comes back into play, unfortunately, as well. I'm going to probably say unfortunately a few more times during this reading. It's almost like we get to that like third strike and you're out, kind of like where it's like, okay, now I have no choice, where he's backed into a corner. So unfortunately, once again, it seems that we get to 2027 or a few flips of this calendar before he gets out of this cycle. And then there's just some things, unfortunately, that happen, right? And I'll stop saying that word. Anyway, I don't have anything necessarily on the radar that is devastating beyond unfortunate kind of stuff. It just is a cycle that he's in, and I'll leave it at that. All right, thank you for the question. All right, we have Karen that writes in. Let's go to Karen's email. This is how we do it. Wrong way. All right. Karen writes into the Stopher Show. Can you tell me if my husband and I will buy a larger caravan soon, or this one? Okay, I read that completely wrong. Could you tell me if my husband and I will buy a larger caravan soon, as this one is way too small for us, or is there a house around the corner? Thanks heaps. Kaz. All right, she goes by Kaz. Happy birthday. Yes, my birthday is in 2 days. I will be 47 years young, and how exciting. All right, so with this, Kaz, larger caravan, easy for me to say. So we get into June of this coming year, 2025, and then I feel like there's a real opportunity that comes. It's like the energy comes forward to you. So I do believe this is something you'll kind of have your feelers out, as I like to say, your antennas up. But it's like the opportunity is presented to you is a little bit more than you going out and scourging the earth, uh, lifting up every stone to see what's out there. It's like this is more of a presentation. I do feel like it's an older model or caravan, whatever you want to call it. So, but larger, it's like a great deal. It just all kind of comes together. There's a very serendipitous kind of energy to this. Now, the house, I don't see an opportunity here until we're getting like 3, 4, maybe even beyond that with the calendar turn. So that puts us probably in like 2028 ish. I think you're in the caravan, but a lot of it kind of all comes together. It really feels like a good opportunity. All right, Bernicia says, whose birthday? Happy birthday. My birthday is on the 19th, and then Christian's is on the 27th. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Cass. All right. Sherry, is Sherry next? Okay, so Sherry writes in, I'm not going to read the whole email here. There's a lot here. And Sherry, if you're watching, whether it's live or in the future on replay, thank you for all the context. But she's describing a dream she has. Let me read. I guess I needed to read part of it. Okay. This morning, I found myself dreaming very realistically. And to cut to the point, I dreamt that I was walking along an outdoor pond of some kind. Suddenly, I feel as if a man was carrying me. He jumped into the water with me, but my head stayed above the surface as he swam across to the other side. When I reached the other side, I cannot recall exactly how, but I was informed by the man that the man was my late grandfather. All I knew of him when he was alive, he and my grandmother lived several states away. The last time I saw him, I was 4 years old, and he was dying of emphysema. He looked miserable. He was not a doting grandfather at all. I just remember feeling very sorry for him because he was so ill. All right. Just seeing what other context we need to put in here. Anyway, there's not real question here, but Sherry, I do want to say this as I read this and I kind of tap into Grandpa's energy, I do get confirmation that this was indeed the energy and the essence of your grandfather. And I just want to kind of interject um, a personal kind of understanding of this energy as like a personal story. I have a great grandfather, Ernest, who passed away before I was even born into this physical body. 3 years before, I think. So, like the mid 70s, and I was born in the late 70s. And so, I've always, even from, and I probably told this story before, even from like a young boy at age 3, I used to tell my grandmother, um, who was Ernest's daughter, and then my mother, that I knew him. And they would redirect me and say, no, no, he died before you were born. You did not know him. And I would argue with them and then tell them things about him that I should not know because he was passed away before I was born. And of course, I would freak them out. And I've always felt like I knew him. And even now, as I connect with energy and I connect with my loved ones in spirit and everyone else's loved ones in spirit, he is, I have a relationship with him and I've never met him. He was gone before I was alive. So I'm very much being reminded of that as I connect to your own grandfather's energy, and just to know I don't have to be a kind of a person that analyzes dreams to know that he is sending you, his energy is sending you a message. And keep in mind, his energy is a part of your energy, just as a way that Ernest's energy is a part of my energy and a part of who I am, right? He doesn't live necessarily separate from me. He is part of me. Same as your grandfather, even though you didn't know him and weren't that connected to him in the physical. Um, just like in the dream, carrying you through the water, he is, in a way, kind of his energy helping you to carry you through this life and some of the things you're going through right now. And I know you were mentioning in here, I didn't read that part, but that I think you named a son after him, or at least part of his name. But I do have to talk about a name because as I connect to your grandfather, I have to talk about a name change, but not for your son, but for you. So I don't know if you're going through maybe something in a relationship situation where we're maybe separating from someone that has that, you have their name, such as like a divorce or something like that. But if I almost feel like you're going to be changing your name, or there's something here with the name change. Do you understand that? And if that's something that's on the table, I almost feel like there's an empowerment that would come with this, or if this is something you recently did or have been considering. Can you confirm that, Sherry? So I think I see you on your Sherry Berry. Okay. Anyway, that's kind of where there's just this real sense. I think there's an opportunity for empowerment, and somehow it connects with you either wanting or needing to change your name. Yes, I am using a married name. I have not been married since the 80s. Oh, interesting. Is this something that you've considered? There might, I never tell people what to do, but there might be something here that kind of is, like I said, it feels like an opportunity for real empowerment, almost like a new me, new day, new me. And then you'd be surprised how just the littlest things, it's almost like, I know women do this a lot. Sorry to stereotype, but if you get out of a long-term relationship and the first thing a lot of women do is like change how they look, they'll change their hair and kind of freshen things up. And that is just, that little thing is very empowering. I almost feel like there's something here with that, where that little switch kind of just as it is exactly that, a switch that helps you move forward in a lot of ways. So I'll leave that there. And this is indeed grandfather, and it's the start of kind of building that relationship with him. Even though you didn't have that in the physical, you can definitely do it. Trust me. I have some really great relationships with people in spirit, much better than the relationships I had with them when they were here. And some of my grandfather that I didn't even know. All right, I will move on to, and thank you for that, Sherry. Let's go on to Annie. All right, Annie writes in. Wait, is this Annie? Wait. Bear with me, friends. Okay, I'm sure. Maybe I skipped over it. Oh, no. Okay, so this is from Maria, and she is asking about Annie. Okay, so Maria writes in and says, "Why am I getting triggered so much in my friendship with Annie?" All right, sorry about that. All right, I don't have a ton here. I don't have a ton here with this Maria, but what I do have is there's definitely an energy of holding on to something. I do feel like the energy's kind of taking me to the past a little bit. I'll just say this: if you're open to it, go back about 20 years, give or take a year or two. Uh, and there's a real kind of like abandonment situation. I do feel like I'm talking about with another female. So there might be something that is triggering you. Um, it is a little bit, like I say, holding on to something from the past, a little fear based as well. I don't know exactly what it is, but the best I can kind of get is I want to go back about 20 years in your life. And and there's something where I think a female and some abandonment kind of stuff happens. So I'm not sure if you're projecting this onto Annie or if there's also a little bit of a competitiveness that's happening as well, kind of uh, as a bit of a side dish to this trigger. So that's kind of what I have with that. Thank you everyone for the birthday wishes. I appreciate you. All right. Let's go on to Bernicia. I see you in here, Bernicia. I've had a couple people ask about this, so this takes care of a few people's questions. Bernicia writes into the Stopher Show. Remember, I told you about the aliens. After that, a few days ago, drones spotted in New Jersey. I think you are in New Jersey, if I could remember correctly. What is the energy? Question mark. Aliens, humans? Should I worry about it? I think we should all. I don't want to use the word worry. We should all be concerned. I think we should all dial into this. Um, I do think it's human. It's human related. I do think there is it feels organized. So that leads me to believe there's like a government or at least a kind of what's the word I want to use? Government adjacent kind of affiliation here. I don't know exactly what it is. The energy I get around it is it's a bit of like a networking kind of situation. I don't want to say it's a good. It's like one of these things. This is what I'm feeling. This is my opinion of the energy here, where maybe somebody or this conglomerate of organizations and perhaps government maybe has good intentions, but it's like the way that they're going about it and the things that are happening or could happen, maybe the people that they're doing it to wouldn't be so happy about it, if that makes sense. So I don't think it's for facetious or bad intention, but I do think it's not great how it's being done and what could potentially, the Pandora's box that opens up. So it's just kind of like government spying on people. It's like, yeah, they have good intentions to, keep everybody safe, but at the end of the day, that's not cool, right? So it's something that's a similar energy is what it's giving me, but I don't believe this is alien or out of this world, so to speak. Thank you for the question. I saw one man-made. Yep, that's what C says. That's what okay. All right. Thank you, Bernicia. And always thank you for being here. And if you are here and you have not subscribed, please do that. If you've not hit the thumbs up button, do that as well. I like that. All right. All right. This is Christina with several Y's in her name and a K. All right. So Christina with the cool spelling. Good morning, Stopher. If you choose to read my question, here it is. Will I meet the man? Will I meet the man I will marry soon? I've heard from other readers that it will be soon or in 4 years. Depressing. So apparently 4 years is not soon to Christina. What do you see? I'm not sure if we're supposed to pay for a question. No, 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 no. I didn't mention that, but nobody pays here on Mondays. I know it's Tuesday, but we do this on Mondays. Nobody pays. If anybody is called to do some kind of donation, you can do the stickers and the super chats or whatever it is. I think PayPal is somehow connected here on YouTube. but that money, it all goes to the Gary Sinise Foundation. So I don't keep any of the money. It's all free. You don't have to do that. If you do it, your questions don't get answered any faster or any better. So that's that. It's free. Also, if you choose my question, is it okay if you do not display name or say my last name? All right. So I'm just going to say Christina. Hope that's okay. I already did that. Yes. I've got this person coming in for you. There's a real opportunity within 2 years is kind of what I get, and then I feel like the 4 years is more of like an if everything goes according to plan, because there's an opportunity that will be presented to you. You and him are already being kind of crafted and drafted, and the universe is slowly bringing you together. That happens in about 2 years. So I feel like I want to get to like early part of 2027, early to middle, so 2.5 years. And then the 4 years would actually be the relationship kind of evolving to perhaps a marriage, if you choose to do that. Here's what I have about that person is I do think, I don't know where you are in the world, but this person would connect currently. I want to connect them to California, north of, I feel like I'm going north of where I'm at. I'm in LA. So this takes me probably like to San Francisco, and I am getting a strong like technical medical. So they might be in some kind of like biotech or something like that. Bay Area, watch out for that connection. Doesn't mean that you have to move there if you're not there already, but I do think they will have a strong connection. They will either be from that area or have business there or perhaps live there. All right. Hope that helps. Oh, thank you, Marnie. Oh, and somebody had mentioned they hope I do 2025 predictions. I will be doing that probably at the end of this month or maybe like the first week of January. The first order of business with that is to do the review of my 2024 predictions. So that will probably be coming out maybe this week, maybe later this week. What is it, Tuesday? And that should be interesting because there's some good stuff in there and there's some embarrassing stuff in there. So that was a fun little experiment. And then of course I'll do I'll go into a session and see what Spirit says about 2025. Joshua's next. All right, Joshua B. Hi, Stopher. I hope you're not getting tired of hearing from me. And no, never. I'm not getting tired of hearing from anyone. But if you are, I apologize. In our first session, you mentioned the possibility of me moving to Georgia and getting a job in the defense industry. Ever since I heard that from you, that's probably the direction that interests me the most. Do you still see this as a possibility? Yes. So Georgia's on the table. Spirit is also putting a couple other places on the table. So when this happens, it just means that there's probably going to be these pulling energies. You decide what happens with that. That does not mean that that's like your destiny to go there. But I'm also getting like it's kind of the same general area. Tennessee and North Carolina will also be presented, or there will be some kind of pull or connection maybe that is made here in the next few years. I don't know that it happens really soon, Joshua. I'm not getting this like buzzing energy that leads me to believe this is right around the corner. I think this also happens after some more education. I know we've talked about that. Uh, I think the defense and the move, and because that feels to me like it's probably like the end all be all. It's kind of like where you end, or kind of where, not where you end, but you know what I'm saying, where like that's the big move, right? So I think more education happens first. I don't know the exact timeline, but I feel like we do flip the calendar several times. So that tells me it's probably beyond 4 years, maybe into 5 years. Like I said, it's kind of the big end, one of the end goals. So it makes sense to me that's kind of where you're interested in. All right, so I hope that helps. But watch it; it's kind of that general part of the country where kind of the southeast, I guess. All right, I don't know who that is. I think that's you. All right, moving on. I think we've got a couple more. Mindy P. All right, hi Stopher. She writes into the Stopher Show. She says, "Hi Stopher. I hope you're doing well. You're well. I think that's you, Joshua. You are Fermilab. You are welcome. All right, hi Stopher. I hope you're doing great. I am. I really need to increase my income next year. Same, or this year. I'm wondering. Yes, Guestiel. Please send them through email. All right, and I'm wondering if I'll have the opportunity to do so at my current company, or if I'm pretty much tapped out here. I've been dreaming about moving to a simpler position that pays more, and or moving out of state to reduce my expenses for the past few years, and running it on fumes. Okay. So anyway, she's running on fumes financially. I worked with lots of employers, and there is one in particular that I've been imagining might be a great fit. Any hits on this for me? Okay, so and full disclosure, when Mindy, and I'm not going to say where she works, but there's an email signature that gives me a lot of information, and I'm assuming that there's some kind of HR kind of situation here. We'll just say that because I don't want to give too many people's information. Mindy, I feel like you don't. I don't get like this jumping ship kind of energy where you're totally flipping the script and changing a lot of things. There is a little bit. I'm getting more like navigate, where we're navigating some things. There is shifting. So in 2025, I do think you will be either with the same employer or working with an employer that you're kind of already connected with. It just feels like connected. Okay, so maybe it's adjacent. And hear me out on this, because I think it's going to be a little bit of a switch from what you do, and I'm going to use words that maybe let me get through it. I'm getting more of like I don't think you're going to be in a sales position, but it feels promotional. It feels salesy. It feels um, like it might be a part of like goodwill campaigns, awareness campaigns, and it still feels like it's in the HR kind of place, but it's probably a little bit. I'm guessing it's going to be a management role. Is what I'm thinking. So I think this is going to be shown to you. It feels to me like it's also kind of that presentation energy, or a situation where it kind of comes across the table rather than you like scouring the earth for it. But I would say continue to do that. But there's something here where it feels a little bit more like management and being a part of maybe an outreach um, kind of thing, which I know it doesn't make a lot of sense for HR, but there's some of that there where it's like promotional. Maybe you're kind of consulting with some marketing kind of things. Okay, but I do think it provides an opportunity to increase the money by October. I think you're actually doing pretty good. I think you've got a pretty good hold on things by October of 2025. Once again, I don't think you're like moving out of state or moving to like a completely different industry. It feels very similar to what you're doing now. All right. What I think the directive here is to really continue to put your feelers out, put your antennas up, and open your mind to maybe taking what you do and some of the skills you have, and then applying them to something that's a little bit different. Hope that helps. Good and good luck to you. Who's next? All right, we've got Jen. Jen says, I took the job. Thank you for helping me make that decision. I think I said that right. The job, if I'm remembering last time, it was like the job was a great fit, but it kind of leads on to other things. What do you see for me and my family in 2025? So it's interesting because I see the job you took, and I also see another job for you. So don't be surprised if you kind of move up a little bit, or get bumped forward, right? It doesn't feel like you're leaving that job and going to another. It feels like you're kind of skipping on the rocks forward, right? What else? A lot of saving. Money looks really good for you and the family this year. I do sense some other revenues, so this would tell me you probably have a husband. I actually feel like there's 3 revenues, so probably yours, husband's, and then there's something else coming in. And then there's saving. It feels to me like we're talking about either a second house or an investment of some sort. Okay, so like a real estate investment is kind of what I'm getting. But there's a lot of saving energy and then kind of parlaying that into some sort of investment, which feels solid. That's usually like a real estate thing. All right. So it'd either be a new house or a second home. All right. But it looks good. I kind of like the trajectory of it all. And I don't have a lot of specifics right now, just because I think there's just so much that can happen. All right. Moving forward. Thank you, Jen. All right. And last but certainly not least, we've got Clara. Hola, Stopher. Hope you're doing well. My question is, do you see a dog, not a dude, she says, not a dude, a dog, entering my life soon? It's been a while since I've shared my life with one. I don't buy dogs or cats, so it would be a rescue or a find. Any insight on this dog and when and where is greatly appreciated. Uh, Dog emoji. Thank you for all you do and hope you do 2025 predictions. I will. All right. September. And when you say find, I feel like it's a find situation where a dog is this is kind of a theme tonight where it's more of like being presented to you or brought to you, or just kind of comes across your desk, so to speak. And that's September. Okay. And then if that one doesn't work out or you choose not to go that direction, then I almost feel like we get into 2025. Or 2026. Geez, we're almost in 2025. 2026, we flip that calendar again, and that would be probably where you rescue the dog. But I think you actually get into the later part of this year. I don't think you do it early. Now you can do it tomorrow if you want, but just as like everything kind of shakes out, it feels to me like we get into the later part. Like we so it comes through. It's like I see the half, and then we're on the other side of that, a little bit on the other side. So September is my prediction. And it'll be a finding thing. It doesn't feel like we go to like a shelter or that type of thing. It's kind of presented, or somebody has it, or somebody knows somebody. That'll be good. And I think all my dogs are like the short face dogs, like bulldogs, and I've had Boston Terriers and boxers. This feels to me like a longer kind of nose dog, and kind of a medium body. I don't think you're going to have like a little poodle or Maltese or anything like that. It feels to me like you'll be shown a dog that's maybe part lab or part shepherd of some sort. All right, hope that helps. What did Armin feel about my? Okay, maybe I'll read that. All right, we got some folks that are emailing in tonight. We'll go ahead and do it. Niver, thank you. Niver writes in and says, I'm planning a trip to Africa in February and would like any guidance messages I might need for this trip. All right, I feel like we're going inland. Hold on. All right. I didn't do a session on this, so this is real time. This is happening. Niver, I feel like you're meeting people there, or there's somebody already there. This could be, and if you're going like through a service or a tour or something like that, I feel like I'm not going to describe all the energy, but it's like we get there, there's already something waiting there for us. So that feels good. It feels secure, is what I want to say. Is whatever is already there in Africa, it's like it's already set up. It feels very set up. It feels very kind of like somebody knows where they're going, what they're doing. I like that energy. I do feel like we're inland. Are you guys? Is it more of an inland trip? I know it's going to be around, the edges, so to speak, the beaches, but I feel like there's also an inland part of it that really feels cool to me, and it really feels like immersive. I like that. I like all the energy around it. I feel like there's good people. I feel like you already know some of these people, is what I'm understanding, and it feels safe. As of and things will change. inevitably as far as like scheduling and whatnot. But I don't have current like any scheduling issues or things changing or um, feels like it's all really set up well. So that leads me to believe you probably have some kind of like tour service or something that's a part of this, or you've done this before. I like it. I don't think you need any guidance. I think you've already been guided. I think you've already been guided to this trip and how you're doing it. So you're already listening. You don't need me on this one. You're already hearing all the messages. All right. Anybody else? All right, Alyssa, you wrote in tonight. Thank you for being here, Alyssa. I've been on maternity leave. Do you see me being happy with my job when I go back to work in May? Let me ask you this, because I almost feel like I want to move it up a little bit. Not much, not much. It's almost a thing like if you're planning the second week in May, it might be the first week in May, or if it's the first week in May, it might be the last week in April. I feel like I want to move it up a little bit. So don't be surprised if there's maybe a push, like, hey, can you come back here? Because it's almost like it just kind of the puzzle pieces fall in a little bit better. So if you're able to be flexible, that could help. It's just like like I say, it feels like it would fit in a little bit better. There's nobody talking. Hey, chat, everyone. So I think you'll be happy. I think since you've left, there's been a lot of. It's like you might see some different faces. I feel like there has been a lot of either turnover or change, uh, but I think you'll like it. I get the fear. You fear that you might not, but I think you will. It all feels very kind of cool to me. All right, hope that helps. Everybody stop chatting. Are you guys still here? You guys fell asleep? All right, all right, all right. How many? How many we got? All right, I think I'm going to read one more and then call it a night. All right, this is from. Did I say the name of that last person? I did, Alyssa. Okay, Brenda, you've emailed several times. Okay, Brenda. Brenda writes in and says, "Hi, Stopher. I'm trying once again, and hopefully it will go through. I was wondering what you might see for my the new year. Thanks so much. Merry Christmas and have a happy New Year. Thank you." All right. Bear with me just a moment. C says, "What's going on with your classes?" I haven't had the chance to look into it too much, but I will. I'll have something for you next week. Things are brewing. Things are happening. So we'll get it put together next week as far as information. Thank you for asking, though. All right, Bernicia. I already read for you, Bernicia. I don't know if you were here earlier, or like 15 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. All right, I'm reading for Brenda. Bear with me just a moment. All right. I did move in a new cat in my apartment. Uh-oh. All right. Brenda. So there is a lot of like addition and like new energy that is kind of percolating for you. So when we get into 2025, it's like one of those things. Normally, it's funny because we all kind of expect, okay, we get over this threshold of the new year, and then all of a sudden everything changes. But it's really just like the same energy, just kind of evolving from where we're at. But with you, it's interesting because I do feel like you kind of step into like over the threshold and things do kind of start percolating in a different way. So get ready. I think there's really good opportunity for this to be positive. When it comes to let's start with like kind of the relation, like the romantic relationships. I'm not sure if I don't know you, so I don't know if you're in one now or not, but I feel like there's an opportunity for like two relationships. I suggest not doing them concurrently, but whatever you're into, right? So I do have the potential for two relationships or two new relationships that feel to me romantic, or at least we'll call it close. And because I get that kind of lovey-dovey, vulnerable, kind of more intimate kind of energy. So there will be new people brought to you or resurface. So watch out for that. I do feel like once we get into the kind of more the middle part of the year, like what I call summertime, uh, I feel like there is a new job, I'm also feeling like I want to place you in a kind of the care kind of industry. So this would be anything that has to do with it would be like medical, healthcare, wellness. I mean, it could be. I mean, I've felt this energy, and people are like doing tattoo. So anything that feels like kind of clinical or wellness related, healthcare, nursing, so on and so forth. So, and I don't think you're doing that now or doing it the way that I'm seeing it. So there's a little bit of like almost like industry shift as well. That happens when it's the middle of the year is kind of where I'm getting with that. All right, all right, all right, all right. Maybe we can just do a retreat. No, I don't think I'm a retreat guy. See, I see a lot of folks doing this. It's not really what I'm into. Maybe that's why they don't call me to help. They know, they're like, yeah, I don't get that energy with him. So yeah, those are the main things I'm getting there. Brenda. All right. I'm feeling a little spent right now, so I'm going to make this bigger. All right. Does anybody want to see me go to the grand piano and play a song? All right, cool. So you're married, so yeah, I'm not suggesting that you entertain any relationships, but don't be surprised if people come in, um, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, you starting a romantic relationship because you're married. I'm assuming happily, but it is a thing where I feel like we're adding people that we have kind of, and when I say intimate, also it doesn't mean we have to, doesn't mean a sexual relationship or anything that's inappropriate, but something where you're just like connecting in a bit of a more that kind of way. That's a little more than just we're pals. So I think you could still have room in your life, even being married, for um, maybe a close friend or somebody you just feel very spiritually bonded to, that type of thing. All right. Rosemary, yeah, there's no piano back here. It's literally just like a screen. It's a screen. Anyway, cool. Yeah, it was a joke. There's no piano beyond me. This is not my house. Anyway. All right, friends. I am getting slap happy. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being flexible, because normally we do this on Monday nights. I will be back next Monday. What day is this? Not Christmas, is it? Next Monday, 23rd. Perfect. Perfect. I'm not ruining the holiday. All right. You're welcome, Joshua. Good night, everyone. Be well. Until next time. Peace always. Love you.